You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's The Biggest Loser After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's The Biggest Loser After Show.
Come on, man.
New song.
I like
All right. What's going on, everyone? Thanks for tuning in. Bing is for doing, and we are doing another after show for The Biggest Loser, Season 14, Episode 4, Pay It Forward. I am your host, James Wallington, and with me are my lovely, beautiful co-hosts.
Hi, I'm Lauren Mendoza.
Hey everyone, it's Fallon, and of course, Miss Mercedes on Twitter. You guys know me from there. I am excited. Another great episode to talk about tonight.
Absolutely. Again, 2 hours long, a lot to talk about, so let's just dive right into it. First and foremost, you know, they started off this whole episode with Allie coming in with the trainers with that little teaser. You know, last week when they showed previews for this week's episode, you thought three contestants were going to go home, but it turns out Allie was just pulling their leg, and the 3 trainers went home to go visit the child ambassadors in their hometowns. So if you guys want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I was excited. I mean, I think, you know, part of bringing these kids in is that they need just as much attention as the adults do. And, you know, they're at home and it's harder at home. You know, you have to eat the food with your family. You're doing it all alone. So I was excited to learn that the coaches were going to go back. And I think it really was just creating an opportunity to see how strong these teams really are and how, you know, how can they do this on their own or can they do it alone? And it was a real test for them.
Yeah, and you're obviously Team Jillian. You always talk about that. So what did you think about Jillian going to visit Sunny in her hometown and Sunny's struggles?
Well, I mean, to watch Jillian go and talk to Sunny, I thought it was really moving. Jillian always tends to really dig deep into anybody that she's working with and really get to the gut of whatever it is that is holding them back. And, you know, we saw her talk to Sunny. It was really cute how she surprised Sunny while she was studying because she's such a bookworm and so studious. So Jillian surprised her there, and when they got down to talking, you know, Sunny admitted that she's the only child and her family, she's in an Indian family, and they've always wanted her to be a doctor. And I think that's just always been her goal. And that's why she stretches herself so thin. That's where she struggles. And that's when she's stressed, she turns to food. So it was interesting to see her really dig deep and just bring that out of her slowly. But it was fun because then Jillian thought, you know, you need to try something new, because I think Sunny doesn't know if she really wants to do what her parents want her to do. She's not saying she doesn't want to, but she also doesn't know. You know, at that age, I think you don't totally know what you want to do at 16. So Jillian takes her to go rowing, and it's just a whole new experience for her. But what I loved about the rowing experience was that Jillian was really the one getting critiqued more than Sunny by the actual coach. Like, Jillian was the one kind of messing up here and there and, you know, laughing about it. But Sunny seemed to really love it, and I think it just shows her that she can try new things. And the big moment of them being at home was when Sunny sat down and talked with her mom and expressed this to her mom. I think, you know, she was always afraid to do that. And her mom eventually said, you know, I just want you to be happy. And she admitted to not being a great role model when it comes to food and exercise. And so it was a real breakthrough moment for them. So Jillian, you know, as always, went and did a lot of good.
Yeah, and you know, think it takes a lot of courage, especially at that age, to approach your parents and be vulnerable in that moment and tell them, this is what I really want to do for my life, or I really don't know what I'm doing. And I know a lot of my friends, have parents that have pressured them into a certain, career path that they didn't want to choose initially. So I was really glad that that whole conversation that happened between Sunny and her mother really went down the way it did. And I think it really helped too that Jillian was sitting there trying to, mediate the whole conversation. And now, Fallon, you're a huge Team Dolvett fan.
I am.
So what did you think about Dolvett going back and visiting Lindsay in her hometown?
I think it was nice, again, to have that one-on-one where they coming to the home, and I liked how he, knows her story, knows that she wanted to be a cheerleader and she was bullied off the team basically because of her weight, and he's like, you know what, I have a little surprise for you. And what he did is he brought her to, I think it was a high school gym, and high school cheerleaders came out and cheered her on, and I literally just got goosebumps because to hear people cheering your name and telling you you can do it, that's what we all want, and that's what these kids need. So I thought it was amazing that he had these girls cheer her on, and I love seeing him getting in and cheering himself. I love how he does that whenever he's working out or he's working with clients. Last season we seen him throw on some tights, and I think it was last season he was a little ballerina, so I thought that was awesome that he's not scared, to let his hair down and be like, you know what, I'm here for you, I'm rooting you on, even if it means that I have to be a cheerleader too.
Absolutely. And what I really liked about his pep talk with Lindsay, because they showed him sitting down with her talking about the whole bullying, and bullying is such a current thing in media right now with a lot of teenagers, suicide and whatnot. And so I really liked what his number one advice was to Lindsay, and that was to kill them with kindness. And I think that's something we all kind of relate to. I don't know if you guys were ever bullied growing up, but I was, and that was always my advice that my mom and my dad gave me, is just kill them with kindness and turn the other cheek.
And I think, not only kindness, but when she loses the weight, they're going to see how strong and capable she really is. And that's something that I love about people who are starting off on this fitness journey. They do not know how strong they really are until they're put through the fire. And we're going to see this girl at the end of this competition and all these kids. And it's going to blow us away what they're going to be able to do. And it's so motivating for me just watching, and I know for people at home.
Absolutely.
I think the best part too is that it's going to be motivating for them. Like, the people that bullied you, they might be shocked, and you might kind of put them in your place when you prove them wrong. But if anything, she's going to prove it to yourself. Because like you said, Fallon, I think so many of us, I think most of us don't really know our full potential until we really push ourselves. And let's face it, we all maybe don't push ourselves as hard as a trainer could push us. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they come up on top.
Absolutely. And I really loved the tender moment the two cheerleaders had with Lindsay too, and gave her that one-on-one pep talk. And also, Bob went home to go see Biingo, and what I was really excited about and really loved hearing was the fact that the mom and the dad are also actively going on this journey with Biingo and wanting to be better role models for Biingo and his weight loss. And I loved that the mom mentioned that she had lost 27 pounds.
Can I say this?
I love
she
that.
She looked even better than Biingo.
Yes.
I'm like, go mom. That is, wow. They're getting even more out of this competition than some of the competitors themselves.
Yeah. And I also love too that, Bob was like, I'm going to go open up the refrigerator because, Dr. Joanna went to go and clean out the fridge, and he was very impressed that they actually were sticking to their guns and went grocery shopping and got healthier food. So that's really exciting. And
they had a really deep story though too. I mean, and you could see what they've gone through with losing their home and having to move in the basement of the father's brother's house,
having to sell everything
they own. And you could see, I mean, that's a lot of stress. They probably were depressed at some point. I mean, you could see how that would weigh on a family, and I could see how that would affect what they're eating and their weight. They're not thinking about health. They're thinking about how to make ends meet.
And Biingo's mom even said that too, that she kind of felt responsible for the fact that Biingo, lost control and became more overweight just because of the financial stresses of the family and all that jazz. But Well, thank you again for everyone tuning in. We have a lot of great feedback and responses. I want to give some shout outs really quick that we had on iTunes from Chris Wallace, DJ Fish, Martin5210, and Johnny Drama. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to us, rating us 5 stars, and commenting and giving us your feedback. We appreciate it. And also on YouTube, Average John continues to follow us.
Love
So
it.
thank you so much. And then Rumbolts1977, we also appreciate your support. For all of you who are also tuning in, make sure that you subscribe on iTunes, rate us 5 stars, give us some comments, let us know what you guys are thinking about our show, and also tell a friend. You know, you have Facebook and Twitter, make sure you blast it out. That's what social media is for. So help spread the wealth and have everyone tune into our after show for The Biggest Loser.
Can I just shout out one person, Watchtower? You know, we were trying to get him in on the challenge, and he wouldn't do it until Lo got on. And it's great.
I didn't know that.
Yes. So once he found out she
Good.
was on, he was like, all right, I'm going to do it. And he
Awesome.
tweeted me today, and he said he's already down 2 pounds.
Wow.
So that's awesome. So
That's
you guys
amazing.
out there, if you're, doing the challenge with us, if you're part of the AfterBuzz team, log your weight, because today is weigh-in day. Every Monday's weigh-in day. You have to log in so we could beat the other teams. And at the end of the show, we are all going to get on the scared. I'm a little scared, but
Yeah.
I think it's been a tough week. It's been a long week, and cold
Yeah.
weather, and then it got hot out. It's like, why do you want to work out? You just want to
Everyone's
enjoy the
been
beautiful
sick.
weather.
yeah,
Let's
we got
face
the
it.
sniffles, but-
Injured.
Not me. Hopefully, I won't
not
get
gonna be
sick
great.
anytime
But you know
soon.
what? We're going to keep on fighting. We're a team. We got to do
Absolutely.
this. We got to motivate each other. So, if you haven't joined the challenge yet, please go to the Biggest Loser website, join the challenge, make a profile. It's the AfterBuzz team. We'd love to have you. Right now, we're up to 10 people
Woo.
and growing.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Yay. Cool.
Well, speaking of motivating each other, what I really loved is that they did the 5K run on this episode, which was the biggest challenge on so far this season, because it gave away some pretty, hefty amount of money away to
Yes.
these contestants. First place, I believe, let's see here, I don't even know where I put them.
$15,000.
$15,000 for the
split.
first place team to split. Second was $5,000, and third was $2,500. Correct. So they show them all coming to the beach, meeting Allie there with a large, exciting crowd. They're all rooting for them, and Allie announces that she will be joining them in this 5K run, which I really like. When the host or the trainers really get involved with this journey with them, that I think speaks volume for them really believing in the
Right.
I'll
contestants.
tell you from a trainer's point of view, a perspective, I've seen one of my clients specifically, her name's Jen. She is amazing. And, I started training her, and she was doing well. She was losing, maybe 2 pounds here and there. But it wasn't until I started joining her workouts. She is down 35 pounds now. And she is
Yay.
looking amazing. And sometimes people need that. They need that, not just yelling at you or coaching you. They want to know that you're in it with them, that you're
Right.
going through it with them. So to see Allie join in, I'm like, you go, girl. That's just going to motivate everybody even more.
And look,
Yeah.
and look how good Allie looks. Every
looks
time
so
we
good.
see her on the screen, she is so hot.
That
She's
hot
just
pink
looking
really
so
looked
good.
good on her too.
Oh yeah. I love her.
Loved her too. So they started off with this 5K. It was a big run they did, I believe, in Long Beach. as
Yes,
you were
shout out to
saying.
my old hometown. I just moved, and I have a feeling they probably did that while I was still there. So I'm so bummed I missed it. But yeah.
But of course, leading the pack, which is no surprise from the beginning, was Danny. And we've been talking the last 2 after shows about how Danny, her athleticism is through the roof compared to any of the other contestants on this season. So she was obviously leading the pack, a lot of force there. And of course, slowly behind her, which I thought was really fascinating, was Joe. And he kept saying, in his little side confessionals, oh, I'm just, trailing behind her very closely. I don't want to put too much into it because I don't want to get exhausted too quickly. But I hopefully in that last stretch of the leg, I can do that final sprint and pass her. And I was like, that's actually kind of smart, but I don't think at the end of the day, it didn't work out to his favor because, of course, Danny, the athlete, of course she came through
White
first.
team all the way.
Team Jillian.
She's amazing.
Absolutely. And what I really also loved about the 5K run was Pam, because we've seen her, we've also kind of labeled her as the diva of this season. She was really confident in her ability, and you didn't really get to see where she was as far as placement throughout the editing process of that whole sequence. But when she came in 3rd place, I was floored.
We've seen Jillian yell at her so far, through this season, And to see her running and come in third place, I'm just like, you know what? Jillian was right. I was giving Jillian a hard time, saying she needs to stop being hard on her. And it's true. I can understand now why Jillian goes so hard, because these people can do it. And she was proof of it. She came in third. She can run.
Yeah, but the best part about that was that she came in third smiling.
Yes.
You saw her pushing herself. Every time they cut to her, she was encouraging herself. She was just trying to push through.
Absolutely.
And that was the best part. And as all the other contestants were coming across the finish line one by one, you saw her coming with them. Like, she would go back and run, you know, that little last bit with every other contestant that was coming across the line. And every time she did it with a smile. So not only could she do that 3K, but she could do a little bit more and run those little pieces every time someone else came through. So she was amazing this week.
Absolutely. And that's another thing that I really love about this show. You see all these other reality shows where it's like teams are going against each other and there's a lot of, you know, maliciousness going on and backstabbing. And this, again, Jillian said it in the first episode, and we've kind of discussed it, that there's a common goal that they're all trying to reach. So the fact that they all come together and support each other, like running to the finish line and going back and getting them and be like, you can do this, you can do this. I just, again, this speaks so much volume about this show and how inspiring it is. And it's really inspiring as a viewer to really watch that and see their camaraderie with each other.
Yeah.
So Jackson, though, was struggling a little bit during that challenge because he's been having some struggle with his breathing and health. You've seen him through the last 2 episodes. He's fallen off the treadmill and whatnot. Dr. H had to run out to his aid.
I just love it. They just keep, everybody is running and joining in. It was amazing that he was literally by his side.
Yep, and telling you can do this, just take a second, breathe, remember to breathe. And I think, you know, we as runners too, if we want to go for a run or hike, we tend to forget to breathe. So I think that's what he just kept reassuring Jackson, is just breathe. You can do this, you can get through this.
I think he gave him, did he give him an inhaler too?
Yes,
just
I
to
believe
take,
so.
which helped. You know, and that's so great. Like you said, with Dr. H just running, they got everybody involved. And you could tell Dr. H was actually just jogging, and he happened to notice that Jackson was struggling. He stopped. So he approached him, and, you know, he was ready with the inhaler and kind of guided him through that to keep him going.
And
I'm just happy Jackson did not puke. I'm
like, no, all week.
Don't puke. Please don't puke.
And you mentioned, too, that it's so windy down in Long Beach.
Oh,
and so
my
with
God.
that sand, there was one shot they did where he was running, and it was so sandy because the wind was just blowing sand around him. I was like, I can't imagine running
It's hard.
in that condition.
Yeah, well, the great thing, that trail, that path goes all along the beach, and it goes from Belmont Shores to Shoreline. So I guess that's about a 3-mile run or so. But yes, it gets so windy in Long Beach. You have sand smacking you in the face. So that's a tough beach path to actually run on. So you need the right weather.
Maybe we should go do that sometime.
It's fun. It's so much fun. It's gorgeous.
They actually said that there's the Biggest Loser run walk race that we can join in at home. So I'll have to go check it out, see if there's one in the area. Maybe it's in Long Beach, maybe it's not. But we'll try to find the closest one. You guys out there at 2, you know, if you want to join in, Biggest Loser run walk, that's what it's called. You could go on to the Biggest Loser website and find it there.
Absolutely. Well, so after that whole challenge, of course, you know, there's some drama with the whole last chance workouts, which is something we all look forward to every episode, because that's when they really go balls to the wall and make sure that they can pull through with the results at the weigh-in. But what I really like the last 2 episodes, and I think is really interesting, is the fact that Bob and Jillian's team keep coming together to work out. Well, I don't really know necessarily why, but
I think it's because Bob's team has more members. Jillian's team only has 2 members, and sometimes you need that extra motivation. I think, like, maybe they're like, you know what, the more the merrier, the more motivation, you know, hearing everybody pushing and working out, and that's what I personally think, and I think it's helping.
I think it's helping for both the trainers and the contestants, because the contestants are getting more than just Bob's help. You know, they're seeing some of Jillian's tough love, which everybody needs just a little bit of.
Just a little.
So it's kind of cool that they're getting that experience, and then it allowed for Bob to take people one-on-one, which would be harder for him to do if he wasn't partnering up with Jillian.
Of course. And I also love, too, that when the whole feud happened, the big meltdown between Jeff and Jillian, Bob just kind of stepped back and let Jillian do her thing. But also he's like, I know Jillian enough to know that she is just displaying tough love on on Jeff, and I felt like Jeff got really passive aggressive and super stubborn and was like, fine, you shake these ropes, and just kind of gave up.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was really interesting, but of course not everyone can handle Jillian. I don't know if I could.
I don't even know if I could handle Jillian. I love her so much, but she would probably kill me. And I think with Jillian, and why everybody views her as being tough, aside from the fact that she actually is because when someone's coming at you like that and they're really pushing you and you don't know your potential, you don't think you can do it because you've never done it before, I think everybody would naturally have a tendency to be defensive.
Yeah.
And so, Jeff, he's never really been pushed by Jillian before. And so he's getting his first taste of her. And he, when we see him in the weigh-in, kind of admitted that Jillian called him out. So, I think people just need to get used to what Jillian's doing.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
I always try to put myself in their shoes. I'm thinking, if Jillian was coming at me like that, what would my response be? And, even in my mind, if I think I could do it, maybe a little, I'd probably just get upset and be like, no, I can't, and I think that's what they're doing. They're like, screw this, I don't want to do this. And it's hard, especially when you have a captain, a trainer who has a different type of style, to have somebody else come at you and is yelling at you. I'd be like, no.
No.
Yeah.
That would be my reaction too.
It would be really hard. Yeah.
I shut down when someone yells at me. Like I said, I could not handle that yelling in my ear. And that's what Jeff said too when he was at the weigh-in, that he just doesn't respond well to that. You just kind of shut down.
And I
Everyone can
wonder if
handle
that
it.
has anything to do why this season she only has 2 contestants
Left.
right now.
Yeah.
I know she's a great trainer, and I know she's probably won other seasons, but I just wonder if it has anything to do with
like a reflection of it. I've wondered the same thing, but I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a vicious cycle. If you do the workout and you're really pushing yourself and you're not complaining, she's not going to do that to you. She's not going to come down on you. We see her when people are actually doing the workout really well. She's saying great job, and she's encouraging them, and she's giving them a hug when she hears that they win. So, she is encouraging. It's just you just don't quit with Jillian.
Tough love barrier
Do not
first.
quit. Don't tell her you can't do it, because then you're only asking for it.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
And I know also with stress that your cortisol goes up, and you actually, it's hard to lose weight even if you're working out.
Right.
So I wonder, she's yelling at them, they're stressing out, and I wonder if that has anything to do with they're not losing as much weight.
Very likely.
Yeah, the cortisol releases in the belly, I think.
Yeah.
And again, going back to her whole tough love and whatnot, she actually tonight with Danny and Pam, like Danny and Pam seem to have this momentum, and I think that might be a benefit when you have lower numbers in a team. The fact that there's only 2 of them, they hold each other accountable during tough times, and I think that should work to their favor in the long run. But at the end of the day, I'm so curious to know. I don't understand this workout. Every time I see it, I just laugh.
Which one?
When they use the sledgehammer and hit the tire.
I'll tell you.
It probably
that?
is
No,
really
I'll tell you.
painful.
No,
Exactly.
This is what it is. That sledgehammer is about a good 12 to 15 pounds. It's heavy.
Yeah.
And you're putting, it's just like, with a baseball bat, or, if you're boxing, you're getting all that anger out and that aggression. And it's actually a great workout, I would have to say. And flipping over the tire, those are all great workouts. I love it. I love when I see that.
I think they're great too because their strength and their cardio. I think as you're, whipping your arm around, you're really working that shoulder and maybe those like upper back muscles and that strength.
Your
but
biceps,
it's putting you
your
out
triceps,
of breath.
You're even using your core. Then you're getting your heart rate up. It's a great workout.
Yeah.
Maybe I will have to try that workout and then give my own feedback because every time I see it, I'm like, that just looks so ridiculous. Every
it
time.
looks hard.
I'm just scared that the sledgehammer is going to slip and somebody's going to get hit in the head. That's the only thing that worries me.
They didn't really show much of the red team, though, in the final chance workout, except the only time they did was when Jackson really kind of excelled in his performance at the workout. And Dolvett even mentioned the fact that he was floored that if anyone was struggling, it was Joe. And Joe kind of took a step back this time and went outside and had a pep talk with Dolvett. And Joe's like, well, I have an injured leg, blah, blah, blah. But again, Dolvett Dolvett, being the trainer that he is, talked to him, was calm with him, understood where he was coming from, but was a little firm, and Joe got right back into that gym.
I think Joe just kind of needed to be put in his place and reminded of what he can actually do.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know if they talked about it in the previous episodes, but he was picked up as a free agent for the Miami Dolphins. Didn't they say?
Yeah.
Yes.
Was it the Miami Dolphins? I don't know. It was a football team. It was the pro football team. Yeah, and that's amazing. And it's true to see Jackson probably never played a sport to really be spearheading the team and be motivated. I mean, we saw him doing this all week long.
Yeah.
While Dolvett was gone, Jackson was the one that was like yelling at his teammates. And it was just kind of a breakthrough week for him.
Yeah, he took the reins.
Yeah, he knew he had to step it up. He knew that he was lacking. And, you know, when they throw in those votes where the team votes you off, he wanted to make sure that he was not going to get voted off.
Absolutely.
And he did a great job, and now he even knows his own strength.
Yeah.
Of course. Well, of course, when the last chance workout ends, that means another weigh-in is just around the corner. And we'll kind of recap like we did last week. Do you want to go ahead and talk about the red team's weigh-in?
Yeah, okay, so first up, I'll talk about Lisa. Lisa lost great numbers. I was very satisfied. 9 pounds, which was pretty big. We had Francelina, who I just adore. Each, time she comes on, each episode, I grow to love her just a little bit more. And she lost 7 pounds. And Dolvett, I even noticed him calling her sweetie, and I was a little jealous, but I know that, he is really growing fond of her too, and seeing how hard she's working. Jackson lost 12 pounds. I was so excited because, like we were just talking about, he has been really, taking the reins and trying to be the leader, and it showed in his numbers. And then Joe, who we also talked about, who, was struggling with his leg. He was injured, but he was an athlete. He needs to push through this. He lost only 6 pounds, which was a little disappointing, but, I think he's really going to turn around next week. And I can say this week I was injured. And I've never, I get a little pain here and there, but this is the first time that I really had to sit out a couple days and not work out, and I had to think about other workouts to do. I went swimming a couple days because I was in so much pain, but I still wanted to work out, and I really could connect with Joe this episode because I'm like, I know how it is. You don't want to let your team down. You have to push through the pain somehow and try to work. So I'm even curious to my weigh-in today. I'm just like, I hope I don't let you guys down.
You will not let us down. Can I say one thing about Jackson's weigh-in? When he went up there, and yes, he was so excited that he finally had a big number, because I think the last couple of weeks we saw him lose only 2 pounds.
Yeah.
And not only was he excited about that big number, but he was also excited that he did not throw up the entire week. That's like huge for him.
Yep.
That means his body is like really getting in the groove, but he was excited about it. We were excited that we didn't have to see him throw up this week.
And
so it was a big accomplishment.
We're going to see that a lot. A lot of these contestants who have injuries, who have diabetes, who have different disorders going on, even digestive ones, when they start to lose the weight, when they start to clean up their eating habits. I've had people who had eczema.
Yeah.
It clears up their eczema, just because of the nutrition and working out. So we're going to see a lot of that this season. We're going to see damn girls all episode.
Oh yeah. I can speak. I won't even get into it on personal experience, but for me, I have lupus. And I mean, when I started to actually incorporate exercise, which was really hard for me because I was in a lot of pain for a long time, I'm off medication.
Good for you.
I mean, and at the time, I don't know that I was even overweight, but that's, this is a similar experience to what we're going to see with these contestants, where you have these health issues, you might be in a lot of pain, and working out may seem actually impossible, but it's not. If you take those small steps, you don't even know what could come of developing an exercise habit. So it's going to be exciting to see all the health cures that come from this.
Yeah. Absolutely. And then the blue team also weighed in this week. And Michael, who, went from 400 underneath to 396, lost 12 pounds, which was a huge excitement, of course. It's a big number to pull in. David, who had still been injured since last episode, lost 9 pounds. And I was really excited to see that, because he's really taking what Bob is telling him. You can still work out with an injury, as we just talked about. There's always ways to work those extra pounds off. Alex. She seemed like she struggled a little bit this week and was a little disappointed with the fact that she only lost 4 pounds, and she kind of looked disappointed, the fact that she's like, I'm doubting myself and my body and like why I'm not pulling through with these big numbers. Gina, I'm starting to love Gina more and more every episode because she's just finding that little feist in her, and she lost 9 pounds. And before she even like knew what the result was, she was talking about what she misses her family, she misses her husband, and that whatever weight she lost, she was going to dedicate it to her husband. So the fact that she pulled through with a -9 as a result, 9 pounds lost, was really exciting. And last but not least, Jeff, the one who threw attitude at Jillian, lost 6 pounds, and he only lost, he lost 0 pounds 2 weeks ago. But the fact that he lost 6, to me, I was really excited for him. But of course, Jillian's like, I just want you to be the best that you can be, and I know it's in there. Be the man that you're supposed to be.
I was very surprised this episode with Jeff. Even you spoke on it when we were in the watching room, and I did not know he was 24 years old.
No.
He looks like he is in his 30s. He has wife and kids.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much that weight ages him. He should not look like that. He is handsome. He's beautiful eyes, beautiful skin.
Eyes.
Yeah.
And it's just, you can't see it with all that around him. So I really hope, he just takes this and listens to Jillian and really puts in the work so he could lose that weight, because 24 years old, that is young. And if he continues, he's going to have so many health issues. I don't even know what's going on with him now, but it's going to get worse.
And I'm secretly rooting for him too, because he's from Michigan. That's my home state. So Team Michigan right there.
I also think he needs to be careful because he's been on the low end before, and we're seeing him sometimes slack off. You see him give Jillian attitude, and if that blue team goes down, he may be the one they vote off, and he really needs to be there. Yeah. So, I think 6 pounds, definitely not his best at all, but at least it wasn't 0 this time.
And you know what? It's 6 pounds at his weight. He should still be losing big numbers. I know, when you've shredded so much weight, it starts to get tough, but this is still the beginning. This is week 4. We need to see double digits from all of them.
Absolutely.
Right.
And that concludes the blue team. So,
hey,
Lauren, if you want to go with
white
Team Jillian.
Oh, gosh. Dun, dun, dun. Well, the white team had a breakthrough week. We saw Danny and Pam really form a bond. They did amazing without Jillian being there. They really took her instruction. So Danny gets up on the scale, and they're told they need to lose more than 12 pounds. So just 13 pounds is what they really need. Danny gets up on the scale and loses 6, which is a good number for her.
Puts the pressure on Pam.
But
I mean, that's half the weight, basically.
It's half the weight, but I think because Danny's such an athlete, I don't know. I feel like everyone was maybe hoping for her to hold the bigger number of, that 13 pounds that they needed. So it really did put a lot of pressure on Pam. And Pam has had a couple good weeks. Like, she lost 9 pounds last week. She was thrilled. I think the week before, maybe it was about 6, or I don't know. It was a good number for her at the time. So the pressure was on. And at this point, if Pam doesn't hit that number, because there's only 2 members in the white team, it's automatic elimination, and Pam would be going home. So Pam steps on the scale and sadly only loses 3 pounds. And I just feel like, she pulled big numbers the last 2 weeks, and this was the week they really needed that big number, but it's kind of a likely story that you lose these great numbers, and then all of a sudden you have a week where you don't lose that much, and this just came at the wrong week. And it's sad because, Pam, I felt like she was a little late to the game. Yep. The first 2 weeks we saw her, and she was just...
diva.
She was a diva. She was complaining. She was fighting back with Jillian, and she wasn't giving in to this experience. And she needed to do that. So it's sad that this week that she really got motivated and pushed herself is a week that she went home. But we did see Pam at home, and what's exciting is that she started at the Biggest Loser at 237, is now 182, and has lost a total of 55 pounds. Yeah. She did look good, and she is on her way to accomplishing her goal of being that damn girl. Because she wants, when the guys see her walking down the street, she wants them to turn their heads and say, damn girl.
I love the little head thing she does.
And she loves to just move her hair back and forth. But it was great. We saw her, getting more active with her daughter, which that was a big thing for her daughter. So what I love that she did you know, everybody who would not want to make it to the makeover episode on The Biggest Loser. Like that would be a goal on its own. So what she decided to do was give herself her own makeover, and it was so cute. She got a cute little haircut, had her makeup done, got a cute new outfit, and she said, I feel beautiful.
Yep.
And I think that is the ultimate goal. If you could feel beautiful and love what you're doing, it's going to keep her on the right path. So I'm excited to see where she'll be at the finale.
Yeah, she looks great. So
white team down to 1.
Oh no.
They're gonna have to put a twist or something in there. We're gonna see some contestants
like a
come
merge,
back,
maybe,
or a merge. Maybe that's why they're doing the workouts together. Something.
Perhaps.
You think they could bring some contestants back because one left, right? Only one left in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So you know they could bring
maybe
another one back.
Nikki, the one that quit.
Yeah.
Oh,
maybe she'll
that
come
would
back.
be great if she did.
That would be exciting.
Yeah.
I would
It
like
would
to
be.
see
I'd be
that.
very fascinated to see if she were to come back, like how she really would turn around and be like, all right, I'm here for sure this time. I'm here to commit.
Yeah.
So who knows
We'll
what
see.
the future.
I can't
but
wait.
speaking of, like, we're doing predictions and all that, but you mentioned that you had some news and
I
gossip
do
for us
have
tonight.
just a little bit of news
exciting.
and gossip. So we talked a little earlier about iTunes. Well, while I was peeking around on iTunes, I wanted to see if there was a Biggest Loser app. Well, there isn't. However, there's an app for Jillian Michaels, there's an app for Bob Harper, and there's also the Deck of Cards workout app that we saw them do last week. So if you guys are interested in that workout, there's an app right at your fingertips on iTunes. Jillian Michaels, I downloaded it and it's amazing. It asks you about your goals, it asks you about your shape, and it kind of creates some workout tips specifically for your goals.
I like it.
Yeah, so it's really exciting. I didn't look at Bob's, but I'm counting on you to
I'm definitely
download
gonna
Bob's
download it.
and fill us in on
Of
what that
course.
could be. So if you need a little extra help, those are just some tools for you.
I'm gonna have to tweet Dovette and be
Like,
like,
get on
listen,
Where's your app?
I am Team Red, here with my red lipstick in the studio, representing. I need an app.
Yes.
ASAP.
Yes,
Put
you
an
do.
app out.
Love it.
Another piece of news. Did you guys know that today is Blue Monday? And do you know what Blue Monday is?
No. Team Bob?
No,
Just
it's
kidding.
not Team Bob.
I know it's
can
MLK
be.
Day.
That's right.
The
But
inauguration day. I don't know.
Blue Monday was labeled Blue Monday because it's the day that most people have completely given up on their New Year's resolution by this point.
Ooh, that's
Yes.
interesting.
I have to think about that.
So, one of my cool little tips on the Jillian app was 5 steps on how to keeping yourself on track or getting yourself motivated again to hold on to those resolutions.
I like it.
So I'll go through those quickly. The first one is commitment and believing in yourself, examining your own behaviors, and also eliminating self-negative talk, really reaffirming yourself positively.
I so agree.
So
I told one of my clients today, I said, you cannot say tired for the entire week. She, I'm tired. And it's really
That's a
taken away
challenge.
from her. Yes,
I'm
gonna
challenge
try
her.
that,
Yeah, you
'cause I
cannot
say
say the
that.
word tired.
Oh, good one. The number 2 is to set attainable goals, short term and long term. I think one of the hardest things in, going into a workout or, making a New Year's resolutions is thinking, I'm going to lose 50 pounds. And if you think that big, it's just harder to get to. You feel like it's never going to happen. So lose that first 5. Make that short-term goal and then reevaluate from there. What do you need to change? Where do you want to go? So just setting those attainable goals is number 2. Number 3 is setting up a support system. So similar to what we have
Very
done
important.
in joining the Biggest Loser Challenge.
Yes.
Join the AFTERBUZZ team.
Yes, you all can join on the Biggest Loser Challenge. You could join the AFTERBUZZ team. All you have to do, I think, is request, and we'll welcome you right in.
Yes.
So we can be your support system. Tell us what you think. You can chat with us on iTunes. You can leave comments on YouTube, or even in this on thebiggestloserchallenge.com. So number 4, we have make healthier choices, just like what we saw in the
Very
Biggest
important.
Loser. Clean out your pantry, clean out the junk, and make room for the healthy. So that's a huge step. And number 5 is obviously start moving. And even if it's taking the little step, go for a walk one day. Say, I'm going to go for a walk. Okay, I'm going to go for a walk 2 days, and then build yourself up. Maybe the next time it'll be a jog. Maybe you'll make a little combo out of it, and just challenge yourself step by step to reaching those goals.
I like it.
Yeah.
And
my
on that
news.
note, maybe we can apply those 5 steps for next week when we do a weigh-in. So let's do a weigh-in right now and see where we're at, yeah?
Here we
Really
go.
don't
Do you
want
want to go
do
first?
this.
I'll go first.
Let's do this.
Da, da,
And
da, da.
while you're on the scale, I looked up the Biggest Loser Run Walk. It's here in LA. It's
Wow, that's
at
exciting.
Temecula.
When is it?
It is this upcoming Sunday, January 27th.
Oh my
Wow.
God. This
So-
Sunday?
Yes.
Wait, that Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday.
No,
Yeah.
not January 27th. February 3rd is Super Bowl.
Oh, okay, phew. Oh my gosh.
I will say I cannot be there. I have to work on
So
Sunday.
do I.
I don't really know what my plans are, but I'll see what I can
Make
do.
it happen.
Because I think it'd be fun to go
I
and
wanna
represent and
go.
see what I can do with the whole walk
There's
thing.
got to be more. Fallon, I think if you
Alright,
move
so
the scale over.
Fallon is on the scale.
Oh, can we see her or
What
no?
is the result?
Fallon,
She's all
Turn to
excited.
the camera. Turn to the camera. Here we go. There we go.
I really
Fallon's
do
on the
not want to
scale.
do this. I'm frightened. Not for you, for myself.
137.
Nice.
Oh my
And what
God,
were
you lost
last
like 3 pounds.
Good work.
That's insane. Ugh, I
That's
probably
exciting.
gained. I don't even want to know.
Oh my gosh,
I can't
good
believe I'm
work,
doing this
Fallon.
workout.
All right, Lauren.
Finally, Lauren's getting on the
Up to
scale.
the plate.
Shut up.
Here we
So-
go.
I'm excited.
All right.
Take off your shoes.
To the scale.
You know, I'll have to say this. I did work out hard,
To the
even
camera.
though
There we go.
I was injured. I made sure to eat clean.
Yeah.
I prepped my food. I went swimming. You know, it wasn't as much pressure on my leg. So I did work hard to lose those 3
I'm
pounds.
proud of you.
Thank
Good
you.
work,
I
Fallon.
was scared.
All
Oh my
right.
God, no, that's not right.
Oh my gosh.
For the first time ever, it says badonk.
That was just
Wait.
stupid.
I was like, what?
Mine would have been said badonk. I got a badonk. I know
I was
this.
so confused.
Guys, it says 150.
Wow.
And I told you, well, maybe I should say it over when I get over there. But how am I going to get back behind
I'll
you?
head over there while you
Yeah,
talk.
you head over
All
there.
right, James.
All right. That's interesting.
Lauren,
I'll be happy
what
about
was it?
that.
What were you saying?
Okay. No, I was saying, at first I said it said badonk. Of course I was fine. But I weighed in at 150, which last week I told you guys what I weighed in at 155. So that's kind of odd to me. But
Hey,
I'll take it.
good for you. 5 pounds.
James.
We'll take 5 pounds. So we're down 8 pounds right now.
That's
Well, we can
amazing.
tack on 2 more.
Hey!
From 174 to 172.
Nice.
172. 174 to 172. Good
Down
job.
to
Thank
10
you.
pounds.
Look at
Okay.
Team AFTERBUZZ.
I
Yes.
am
That's
feeling
kind of amazing.
Way to go,
excited.
guys. Way to go.
And you know what? Props to Lo because
Yes,
she didn't even
props
want
to Lo.
to join
I
in and she
still-
lost the
no,
most weight.
I wanted to join the challenge. I did not want to do that in front of everybody. But I'm going to own my curves
Yes.
at 150.
But you
and
know
I'm
what?
keep going.
That's
I'm going to keep
awesome.
going.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So-
Now,
I'm
now
very proud of
when
all
we
of us.
leave here, we have to go to the AFTERBUZZ team and log it in because it needs to be in before
Midnight. So we only have like
Oh,
an
wow.
hour to do that.
So we need
my
to
gosh.
go home, rush, log it in. You guys at home that are doing the challenge, we want to hear your stories. Tweet at us, AfterBuzz TV. Mine's Miss Mercedes. We'll go around the table. Let us know how you're doing. I'll be checking. I'm the team leader to see how you're doing. If you need any help, any questions, anything, let me know. And we are gonna go to that run walk challenge.
Yes, I'm down. Let's do it.
I have to work. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm
You'll be
working
there
the
in
SAG
spirit.
Awards. I'm working the SAG Awards. That's
Nice.
exciting.
That is
Exciting.
exciting.
So
That
I'll
is
be
exciting.
there. I'll be on my feet all day. So that's, somewhat comparable, but I'll make up for it. I'll
Nice.
make up for it.
Awesome.
I feel so proud.
Me too.
Oh, I'm
stoked. I'm
happy.
excited to go input those numbers
Me
into the
too.
Yes.
Go
website.
team. Way to go.
Go
Nice.
team. Well,
Go
thank
team.
you so much for everyone who's tuned in today with another great episode. Looking forward to yes.
One thing.
Yes.
I'm sorry. One thing. Okay, so on the show, Dovette said he was talking about breakfast and how important it is.
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to break
Yes,
down
please.
really quick how really important it is. The reason why it's called breakfast. Break the fast. Because when you go to sleep, you're sleeping 8 hours. You are not eating. You are fasting. So when you wake up, you need to break the fast. You need to eat within 1 hour, of waking up because your body is going to burn 200 calories less
Wow.
if you postpone eating till after an hour. So even if you don't work out that day, if you can't make it for some reason, eat within 1 hour so it can speed up your metabolism.
I'm
Right.
so glad we have you here because I would not have known that, and breakfast
Don't
is
break
my
the fast.
favorite.
I will
favorite
break
meal.
the fast. Eat breakfast.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in to the Biggest Loser After Show on AfterBuzz TV. We appreciate all your support. I'm James Wallington. You can find me on Twitter at James Wallington, WALLINGTON. Wallington. And I might as well throw Instagram in there too.
Yeah, me
At
too.
Mr. James Wally. So go ahead and give me a follow. I would love it.
I am on Twitter at @low_Valles, VALLES, and on Instagram I am at @lowvalles, no underscore.
Nice. And I am Fallon Mercedes at Miss Mercedes, both on IG and Twitter, and it's MIS Mercedes. I'll be tweeting about the Biggest Loser Challenge, how we're doing. I'll give you fitness tips and all that great stuff. And shout out to my editor, director, Kevin.
Yay.
He is here. I'm
Thanks
doing
for joining
my
us.
celebrity fitness report, so we're going to have new interviews up soon. We'll have the Gloria Govan and Matt Barnes, her husband that plays for the
Love
Clippers.
it. That's
Got to
exciting.
interview them, so check them out.
Nice.
Perfect.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.